Hey guys, welcome back to Dynasty Football Live. Coming at you with the favorite here, the NFC North. Hey, we're here, baby. What do you think, Manny? It's your time to shine, baby. Your Green Bay Packers. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm
Hell
ready for
yeah!
this.
All right, guys. Hey, today we're going to be bringing you the draft grades for the NFC North. This is a very up and coming division for me, man. The Bears have made moves. The Lions have made moves. The Packers have, they they they're
Kind
singing
of made
some
them.
sad tunes these days because this cat ain't in town no more. But hey, we're gonna see what they did. Here we go, man. Let's get into these dynasty draft grades as always. I'm Byron. This is Manny. We're gonna take you into these NFC North draft grades.
All right, we're starting with the Bears. This is actually kind of bittersweet for me. Part of me is excited, get to talk about the Packers, and then part of me is sad because every other team got so much better. So we'll see what happens. But for me, I think the Bears knocked it out of the park. Um, I was a little surprised with Darnell Wright pick, but he is so good. He's so talented. He's a large human being. He's perfect right tackle. Jervon Dexter. Remember right, that guy's like 375 pounds.
Oh, he's a
Probably
big
not that
kid.
big, but he looks that big.
Yeah.
So great pick up there. Tyreek Stevens, um, elite corner. I know you were very high on him when we were doing our mock draft early on. So for me, there's two guys that are, aside from Darnell Wright, which obviously is not really a fantasy impact player, but in a way he is because he's going to keep Justin Fields upright and it's going to help in the run game. So for me, the two guys that are the fantasy relevant guys are going to be Roshan Johnson, who I think has a chance to really kind of take the lead in the backfield. I know Herbert's there, Khalil Herbert's there, but he was kind of injured last year. He's never seen a full workload in the NFL. Roshan Johnson's built to take a full workload. He's really underrated, being behind Bijan Robinson. So that's kind of my steal for the draft. I mean, I think it's not really a secret anymore. I think the secret's out on him, and I think people are going to be drafting him probably in the second round. Maybe sooner if maybe they own Herbert. Just as insurance there. But I think Tyler Scott is extremely fast. He was kind of a star going against Sauce Gardner in practice, and Sauce has some good positive words to say about Tyler Scott. And I think they did a good job drafting a wide receiver. I would have maybe drafted one a little bit sooner. I know they got DJ Moore, but I don't know. Mooney's kind of hurt. They got Bayless Jones last year, but he didn't really do much. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Last thing I'll talk about is Noah Sewell. So we have another Sewell in the division. Obviously, the Lions have his brother. I was a little surprised he went that far down into the fifth round. He was I think he was like a Army All-American coming out of high school, 5-star recruit. Played really well at Oregon, but I don't know. For some reason, they slid here. I don't know if it has to do with character, his size, or what's going on. But anyways, I really like what they did. I like the direction they're going, as hard as that was to say. So, yeah, for me, it's an A for the Bears.
Absolutely, man. I thought they had one of the best drafts. There's another team in this division that had just as good as a draft, but they got an A plus, man. I think when you pick at least 6 to 5 players that I had going in the top 3 rounds, for me, there's no way that I can't give you an A plus. Way to go, Bears! You're coming up, and hey, man, Justin Fields is gonna have a field day next year. I think this is one of the up and coming teams in the NFL. I think getting rid of David Montgomery, I don't know if that was such a good idea, but we're gonna see if Roshan's the real deal. They do have Deontay Foreman back there now, and Khalil Herbert. So they don't have a bad running back stable. So I guess they saw enough in Herbert to say, hey, man, we're going to give you a shot. Montgomery to me was a pretty solid back. So we'll see how that works out for them. But anyways, let me get into these draft grades. Darnell Wright, we know he's a staple there. That was a great pick getting him. I thought it was tremendous get for them. They do need to keep Justin Fields from running from his life for his life. So that was a good pick. Uh,
Mhm.
you know, Gervin Dexter, that was a great pick. That some people had him going in the late first round. I thought that they got good value there, beefing up that defensive line. Tyreek Stevenson, another get on the back end there to help out Brisker, who was a stud last year.
Mhm.
Man, Zach Pickens, a lot of people ain't talking about him. This cat's a stud coming out of South Carolina. That was another good get. I also really like Roshan Johnson. They did save a lot of tread on them tires there at Texas, so hopefully that benefits the Chicago Bears. Now, let me get into my dynasty relevant player. This is him right here, Roshan Johnson. I feel he could go anywhere from the early to mid second round pick. So look for him there. I don't think he's a first rounder. Don't even touch him in the first round. But I think if you've got a mid second and you feeling kind of running back needy, this is the pick for you, man. I wouldn't hesitate. So mid second is my final grade for him. Uh, Tyler Scott, speedster out of Cincinnati. Man, this cat can fly, dude. I really liked him. I thought that this was another good addition. They are stacked at wide receiver, much like the Cleveland Browns are. They just got wide receivers all the way down the board. And you didn't mention my boy Chase Claypool, who's going to be coming in, and hey, he's getting
I'm
some.
sorry. I keep doing that. I keep
Hey,
doing that. I'm sorry.
he's getting some love in OTAs. They're loving this cat right now, so he
Mhm.
might be what he was his rookie year. Don't count out Chase Claypool. Last but not least, like you said, Noah Sewell, hard hitting linebacker out of Oregon. Man, they got a steal on this dude. Mark my words, this dude's gonna be a starter next year. I promise you that. This dude can light you up, and he will be doing that in the NFL. I love him. I think he's a sideline to sideline linebacker. Good job, Bears. A plus.
All right. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers. Um, and in our video, I guess our live first round video, the live NFL draft video that we did, obviously my reaction was not the greatest to some of the picks that were picked. But one thing I will say is it's not about the players that were picked; it's about who was on the board at the time they were picked. Um, I think we didn't necessarily need JSN, but when you have a player like JSN available, and there are still some questions at the wide receiver position, maybe you should have gotten JSN. With that said, I love Lucas Van Ness. I think the size, speed combo, he can play a bunch of different positions. You can have him at linebacker, you can have him defensive end, you can have him anywhere. So I think the versatility and the fact that he was, people were saying he was one of the best players Iowa's defense had. But anyways, I like the player. I think he's going to be a great addition for our defense. Our defense, maybe with I think we have now with this pick 11 first round picks in our defense. Maybe next year we'll be ranked higher than 25th. That's how much belief I have in our defensive coordinator. But anyways, they have a lot of picks. I don't want to go through all of them because we're going to be spending the whole video here. But I really love Jaden Reed and Luke Musgrave. I think Jaden Reed's kind of been getting some love at OTAs. I think there's a question about what if he's going to overtake Dubs, being that he has a better draft capital. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I do think he's going to get a lot of playing time. Luke Musgrave's probably one of the most athletic tight ends in this draft class. concern about his ability to stay healthy, but if he's healthy, I think him and Kraft are a great 1-2 punch. We got some insurance there. And I'll stop there. Otherwise, I'll be talking all day. I do like Grant DeBose, our last pick in the 7th round. He's been kind of slowed down in injuries, the OTAs, but man, I don't know if you've seen a highlight of him, but he's kind of a dog, even though he was picked later in the 7th round. But I really like what they did. It's just if I was the GM, which obviously I'm not, I would have made some different decisions, especially since our defense sucks and has sucked for so long, even though we have 80 first-round picks in the defensive side of the ball. But anyways, I'll stop. I don't want to I don't want to keep going. But yeah, I give him an A. I like the players. It's just I would have made different decisions for sure.
Yeah. For me, it was kind of underwhelming with the capital that you guys did have. I wasn't a fan of this draft class. I'm sorry, but I want to be on your side because you're a Packers fan about it, But man, I'm gonna keep it to you brutally honest. I thought they could have done a lot better after the Van Ness pick. I felt like maybe you could have packaged those 2 second-rounders, or I don't know if they had actually 2 second-rounders. They might have traded back up in the second, but regardless, I felt like
No, they had two. They had two.
okay,
They got the Jets on their own.
that's even worse because considering how far JSN slid down the board, I felt like it would have been beneficial for them to go get Jordan Love, an actual superstar, which that's what we're talking about when we talk about JSN. I'm with you, man. It was tough to see them pass on a talent like that. However, Lucas Van Ness was one of my favorite defensive players coming into this draft. I had him right behind, Nolan Smith, and then, obviously Will Anderson Jr. was number 1 for me. But other than that, 2 tight ends that really, I like them. I don't think they're bad picks. I just feel like they're not second rounders. I feel like these are 4th and 3rd round tight ends. I don't feel like they're second rounders, man. I'm sorry. If anyone's a second rounder, it's Musgrove. Okay, he's got talent. I see the talent there. Kraft was a reach to me. I felt like you could have got him in the middle of the draft. So that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, just a lot of pieces that I really don't know how to even talk about all the way down. They had a lot of picks. And they didn't pick a lot of people, if you know what I mean. For me, that's just my assessment of what they could have done. They could have done a ton better. But then again, the Packers always pick people, and they ended up being really good because the Green Bay Packers, they're the green and gold, man. They somehow find these players like the Patriots do that make it work. So with that being said, Luke Van Ness is great. Luke Musgrove. Going to be probably, to me, a late 2nd round, early 3rd round tight end in your Dynasty Football drafts. Look for him if you're tight end needy. Jaden Reed, probably mid to late 2nd, maybe. I'm saying a late 2nd, mid 3rd. That's his range. Late 2nd, mid 3rd. So I see him there just because of the draft capital. He will be the slot. Quit telling these people he's going to be in front of Romeo Doubs because he's not. I already read reports.
Hey, that's not my opinion. I'm just saying that's what I've heard. That's what I've read.
I'm giving you the Matumbo finger wag on this one, okay? No, sir. No. Romeo Doubs is not getting passed by this dude. I don't care if he's a 2nd rounder or not. This dude is a slot wide receiver. It's going to be Christian Watson over here, Doubs, and then you're going to have Reed in the middle, and you're going to have your 2 new tight ends that you just drafted. So, also, Kraft is going to go in the 4th to 5th in your Dynasty Football draft. So I feel like he slides a little bit, just because he might be the backup if something happens to Musgrove. I think Musgrove comes in and possibly starts. Who is y'all starting tight end, by the way? Because I don't know who that is.
Well, it was Tanyan, but he's with the Bears, so
Yeah,
it's probably Luke Musgrave or Kraft. Probably Luke, I would imagine.
yeah. All right, guys. So I give him a B. And sorry, Packers fans, and sorry, Manning. I
No,
was
it's all
with
right.
you. I was with you, hoping that you would have just as fun as I did on draft night. But man, dude, golly, man, I felt like, and we could both be. I could be totally wrong here, guys. I could get made fun of at the end of this year on this video. But hey, this is why we do it. This is our
Yeah.
projections. This is what we think, and that's why we're here. So, yeah, it's a B, man.
Next, we have the Lions. I This is tough to say. I love the Lions. I know I don't love them as much as you love the Lions because you gave them an A plus, but I gave them an A. I think this is like a Madden draft.
Oh, it's
Like
amazing. It's amazing.
Jameer Gibbs, electric. Obviously, people were saying it was a reach. They were confused because Swift was there. Swift is gone. I made a trade for the 1.2. Just want to throw it in there. I'm excited about Gibbs. Jack Campbell in the first and back end of the first round. The linebacker position isn't that highly valued anymore. Jack Campbell is an absolute monster. If that isn't Dan Campbell's type of linebacker, I don't know who is. Even though he does like Rodriguez, who's like the opposite
Dude,
of Campbell.
Rodriguez is my boy, dude.
Oh no, no,
I
I love
love
Rodriguez. I'm just
I
saying,
love
size wise,
Rodriguez.
the
Yeah,
opposite.
man.
Um, Laporta, I think he's going to be day one. I'm going to say right now, top 10 tight end, not top 10 overall tight end. It's happening. Branch in the second round. I mean, dude, I don't know how he slept. I know he's a safety and he plays the slot very well too. Obviously, that's undervalued. But going in the second round, it's a steal. Hooker, going in the third round with an ACL injury. It is almost, if not worse, than the Biletnikoff winner going in the third round to the Giants. I think that's a steal. I'm very excited about him. I guess I'm a little biased Tennessee fan, but I literally love picks. The first 5 picks. Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I should have been an A plus. I'm gonna give him an A plus. I'm changing that. A plus.
A plus.
A plus.
Telling
I
you,
love
man.
their first 5 picks.
Telling you,
Great
man.
value with Hooker with the injury. People are like looking at him because he's hurt. Doesn't matter. He's not
Man.
a system quarterback.
They had a squad, bro. They got a squad, man. So yeah, dude, you're looking at 5 potential first rounders that you just drafted. Like this draft could be what sends them to the Super Bowl, man. This is my opinion. I think the Lions are definitely going to be in the playoffs this year. I think that they get Jamison Williams back, after his little stupid suspension that he has been issued for this gambling crap. I mean, man, y'all got to stay away from that stuff. Man, Jameer Gibbs, electric. I think he starts from day one. I don't think Montgomery is that dude. I think Montgomery's going to back him up because Jameer Gibbs is the sauce, baby. Like, this dude is going to let him know. I love Jameer Gibbs, and I think this was an awesome, awesome place for him to go. He's got an awesome running back coach in Deuce Staley that's going to get the most out of him. For me, Jack Campbell, best linebacker in this whole draft. Dude, bite them kneecaps off, you know what I'm saying? Dan Campbell style. Sam Laporta got an Iowa tight end, man. Look at this. It just does not stop. And then you get a safety out of Alabama / corner, however they're going to play him. I don't know where they're going to play him. They could line them all up. Very versatile corner to replace what they lost in Jeff Okudah. And then you get a backup in Hendon Hooker who could easily probably come in and be a franchise quarterback for half the teams in the league once he gets past this knee injury. So you're looking at dudes right here that I feel like, if Hendon Hooker would have been healthy and not torn in his ACL, you're getting 5 potential first rounders right here, dude. 5 potential first rounders. That is an amazing draft, dude. And,
Mm-hmm.
and they're adding this to an already really good offense, man. Like, you got your tight end. You got your running back. Dude, you're doing shit that I've been telling all these other cats, like the Bengals, go get a tight end, man. The
Mm-hmm.
Bengals should have been the one drafting Sam Laporta. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are actually doing it, man. They are doing it much like, the Jaguars. This team mimics the Jaguars to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Jaguars were in the hole. Now they're not in the hole no more. I think at the end of the year, going to see them and the Jaguars, you know, right there in the playoffs, dude. I think these two teams were out and down, and now they're up, dude. So the Lions, A+. Way to go, man. Probably the best draft in the entire NFL. That's just my opinion.
And I will say this: I love the fact I didn't quite look at that way, but you're 100% right. I mean, these players could all have been first round picks,
Every single
and
one.
it wouldn't have been crazy. That's not a big leap.
Nah, not at
So
all.
amazing,
But
amazing.
what I do need to go back and tell them before we move on is Jameer Gibbs is don't let him get past 2 or 3 in your draft because he is a very high pick this year. Um, Superstar running back potential. Alvin Kamara is everyone's comp, including mine, to Jameer Gibbs. He can catch the ball very well out of the backfield. Also, um, we're looking at Sam Laporta. I think he's borderline 111, 112. Maybe you could take him in there if you need a tight end, depending on if Kincaid's already gone. I think he's, competing with Michael Mayer right there for the second selected tight end in your dynasty draft. So look for him at the end of the first, early second round for me on Laporta. And then we're going to go to Hendon Hooker here. A lot of people ain't letting him get out of the second. I'm not going to be on the same train. I think he might be mid to late third rounder. So that's my picks for our dynasty. So right here, but yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean he's not going to see a lot of playing time, so it makes sense that he would drop a little bit. Uh, all right, next and last but definitely least, I don't like the Vikings. I give him a B though. I wasn't really expecting him to be a run a blazing 40, which he didn't. But when you look at him doing the drills in the combine, he just looks so natural. He just looks so good. But anyways, I liked the Jordan Addison pick. I think he's a great complement to Jefferson. Obviously, the let go of Thielen. They have Osborne there, but obviously Addison is going to be the number 2 behind Jefferson. Cousins is Cousins. He might throw it to Addison. I don't know. He didn't throw to Diggs. We'll see what happens there. I really, really like Jaron Hall pick. Kind of underrated guy. Obviously, he's not going to start because Cousins is there, but I think there was a lot of buzz around him coming out of the combine and the pro days and everything. He had a great season at BYU, and he's sort of the total package. Obviously, needs a little polishing, but I really like him. Maybe being the eventual replacement for Cousins. Cousins, I think he's in the final year of his contract. I don't know if he's going to re-sign or leave, or I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with him. But anyways, we'll see what happens. And Dwayne McBride, obviously they just released Dalvin Cook. Not sure where he's going to go, but I think that definitely bodes well for him. Madison and obviously, what's his name?
Ty Chandler.
Ty Chandler, who's kind of a smaller receiver back, but at Tennessee and North Carolina, he runs the ball well, even though he's kind of built more like a wide receiver. But it's gonna be interesting. I think McBride now, even though he's a 7th rounder, now that Dalvin Cook's gone, it might be a sneaky pick. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe the 3rd or 4th round. Take a shot. Maybe, I don't know if you agree with that or not, but Addison for sure. I think he would go probably in the 4th. It depends on what your needs are, but maybe 4th overall to the 9th overall range, depending on need. But yeah, for me it's a B. Whatever.
Yeah, man. I thought the Vikings did pretty well, man. I liked their draft. Jordan Addison, guys, I'm with you, man. He's got elite feet. He's got elite hands. The body is what scares me, man. One hit from a Jack Campbell type linebacker across the middle, and I think this dude's crawling to the sidelines. He's a very small individual, which kind of reminds me of another player that they have on their team, Jalen Reagor. This is who I'm comping this guy to. Jalen Reagor coming out. He's better than Jalen Reagor was as far as like prospects is, but they're the exact player. If you look at them side by side, Jalen Reagor and him are the exact same wide receiver. I don't know. We'll see who does better in the NFL. I'm hoping for the Vikings' sakes that Jordan Addison is better. He's a small wide receiver though, man. God, this dude's small. Hey man, but he's still getting love in dynasty drafts, like you said, 4th to 9th. I don't think he gets past the 8th pick, to be honest. That's my opinion. I could see him sliding because of his size, but the landing spot and him being the 2nd wide receiver on this team is gonna bump him up in your drafts. So another guy I really liked, obviously, Dwayne McBride. I think he can compete for that, backup role there for sure. This guy averaged almost 6-7 yards a carry in college. I mean, he had an insane college resume. So I'm excited to see what Dwayne McBride's going to come in and do there. Getting him in the 7th, I thought, like you said, is an absolute steal. Jaron Hall could end up coming in if Cousins gets hurt. We thought they had their backup out of A&M. They shipped him off. That dude was not, even worth the draft capital they spent on him. Kellen Mond, that's who I'm thinking of. So, didn't get a shot there. He's actually, I think, didn't he go to the Steelers? Is he with the Steelers?
I'm not 100% sure where he went now.
Yeah, he bounced somewhere else though.
I know he definitely not there anymore. I just don't know where he went.
Yeah. So another thing, looks like they loved LSU and USC in this draft because their first 4 picks were USC and then they went LSU. So staying with some pretty high profile schools there. So we'll see if it works out. It was a B+ for me. So the B+ was because they did get Dwayne McBride in the 7th, who I think could come in and be a key player now that Dalvin Cook is gone and Madison's coming up. You don't really know what you have in Ty Chandler. I think Ty Chandler's more of a 3rd down receiving back. That's just my opinion. But I think this guy could come in and get some goal line carries. He's definitely a goal line back. He's definitely fits the mold of a Dalvin Cook or a Alexander Madison. They just keep pumping the same guy into this offense. Hey, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you put Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison together side by side and you put them in the same jersey with the dreads, I could not tell them apart. I'm serious. I can't. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to tell you which one's which. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, anyways, guys, please like and subscribe. Hope you liked our draft grades here, and hope you come back for more because we're going to keep pumping them out until we get to this preseason, which, boy, we're going to have some fun with some player profiles. We're going to be breaking them down as the season goes on and telling you who you missed out on, who we missed out on, who everybody missed out on. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go, man.
All right, baby. As always, Dynasty Football out.